Hello, hello, hello to all my wonderful Sagittarius. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with a very special reading on today, Sagittarius. We're going to get right into your reading. We have a full moon coming, but currently right now at present, it is a waxing gibbous moon. Yes, what does that mean? It means that you're very close to achieving your goal. Love it, love it, love it. But like I said, we're headed towards, in 5 days, we're headed towards a full moon. Yes, love it, love it, love it. So when we're headed towards a full moon, so it does not like, okay, boom, a full moon, and then it just starts to expose everything in you and around you, right? Leading up to that, you may start having vivid dreams, vivid thoughts about people and places and things and all that kind of stuff. Hey, just ride the wave, right? Just ride it. You're headed in the right direction, right? And I'll explain to you what I mean in a second. Plus, we have 4 planets that's retrograde right now, so that's affecting things too. One of them being your planet retrograde. But let's get into it, right? Most High God in the universe, please give me a special reading for my wonderful Sagittarius as it relates to every area of their lives, specifically in areas of power and intellect, money and wealth, creativity and emotions, and spirituality, and where they need to take action. What information do we have for my, and I'm talking to my smart, caring, deep thinking, honest, loves to have fun Sagittarius, who are also very generous, idealists, and have great sense of humor. I'm talking to you Sagittarius, my gods and goddesses. Yes, that means that you are God of your universe, not someone else's, right? And they are not God of yours. So let's get into it. It means that you are a creator. So you, Sagittarius, can create the life that you truly, truly want. Yes, you can call things into existence. Isn't that nice? That we are creatures of free will. We are divine spirits having a human experience. How beautiful, how wonderful. Yes, so, all right. So let's see what we have here. I keep saying somebody's celebrating moving into a new space. I love it, Sagittarius. I love it, love it, love it. Here we have the moon card. Yes, yes. The moon card, like I said, we're moving towards a full moon, so some people are falling out of range and you're not thinking about them as much as you were before. But hold on, I'm gonna go back to that in a second. We also have the 7 of Wands. We also have the 2 of Pentacles. You have the 4 of Wands. You also have the 10 of Cups. Hopefully you all can make some room. Yep, make some room. And then we have the Star card. Yes. Yes, so the Star card is attached to the Aquarius. Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius. So the Aquarius ruling planet, one of the ruling planet is Saturn. So you could have Aquarius in your chart. I always try to encourage people to please pull your full birth chart so you can see what you have in your chart. It's interesting when people say, I don't get along with this sign and I don't get along with that sign. And you could have it in several placements in your own chart, which means that that part of yourself, you don't really know what you look like at your highest frequency. Yes, so get to know what's in your birth chart. So some of you all may have Aquarius in your chart and some of you all could have Pisces in your chart, right? So nevertheless, I see some of you all have been in a tricky sort of relationship, maybe with an Aquarius, right? And tricky could just mean, it can mean anything. It can mean you're in a romantic relationship and you all just kind of don't see eye to eye. You're not on the same frequency. Basically, it just means you're all not on the same frequency, right? So you'll start to see, and same frequency, not being on the same frequency does not mean a bad thing. Let me just put that out there. It's not negative at all. It doesn't mean bad thing at all. It just means that you're starting to learn. It's starting to become clearer and clearer to you, Sagittarius, that whether they're a good person or whatever, right? When you're not on the same frequency, you just got to let it go. It's that simple, right? And because a lot of things the universe is trying to release to you, you don't want to miss out on what the universe is trying to release to you. I'm seeing the universe is trying to release a new home for you, whether you are buying a new home or selling a home or moving into a new apartment or something. But I see the universe trying to release something to you where you're going to be celebrating, right? So sit down somewhere and meditate. Like seriously, get your solar plexus chakras together. That fire in you, get your personal identity back, your personal power and your identity back, right? There's something that you all have to offer to the universe, some kind of creative energy that you all have to offer to the universe. And the reason why I know that, Sagittarius, is because of this card. There is something creatively that makes you feel happy, an emotion, right? Something that really makes you feel happy inside, that gives you inner peace. This is what I'm saying for you, Sagittarius. There's something that puts a fire up under you that just really puts you in a really happy place creatively, right? Don't worry so much about relationships, right? Just focus on what puts you in a happy place of feeling healed. Like feeling healed. A lot of people have gone through so much trauma, Sagittarius. I'm serious. This is why I don't say anything negative about people when relationships end. I just don't, because there are so many people who have gone through so much trauma, could be going through post-traumatic stress, could be going through all sorts of unresolved childhood traumas, or whatever the case may be. So when people fall out of range in your life, just let it happen. I mean, seriously, just let it happen and just move on. You know, especially if, let's say, for instance, I mean, aside from, let's say you haven't heard from that person at all. I mean, not necessarily that they called you. Let's see if, you know, you've heard through the grapevine that they're fine, or let's say they have a YouTube channel and you know that they're okay, or whatever the case may be. There are, you have to understand, like, people put too much, people put a lot of emphasis on the word ghosting, right? They really, really do. But there's so much gray in between A and Z. There's so much gray area in between it. You really don't know what people are going through. Some people could be really, really going through some kind of post-traumatic stress. Like, seriously, where they could seem, you know, okay 1 minute, then the next minute they could be depressed or sad or happy or whatever the case may be. And post-traumatic stress is not just you know, for veterans, where people say, you know, shell shock, which are really not one and the same. They're not even to be used interchangeably. Shell shock and post-traumatic stress is not the same thing. For veterans, a person could be in a car accident and experience post-traumatic stress. Somebody could have been held up, like in a, they could have witnessed a robbery, and they can go home. It seemed like they fine for 6 months, like they just resumed their normal activity, and then boom, one day, all of a sudden they just spaz out. They're scared to leave the house. It could be anything that's happening. So as long as you know that the person is okay, and if you don't know that they're okay, you know, send the police to do a wellness check to make sure, you know, they're not suicidal. If you can contact a family member or whatever, just to make sure, you know, just checking in, making sure the person is all right. But don't assume the worst, because again, the universe is trying to release something to you, either, like I said, refinancing your house, buying a house, moving into a new apartment, or something the universe is trying to release to you. So again, you want to keep your vibrations high at all times, and sit down somewhere and meditate. And also, like I said, do something during that time. You want to focus on something that gives you inner peace, some kind of creative energy. Now, what's interesting, the beautiful thing about your ruling planet, Jupiter, being retrograde right now, and this is wonderful. Like I said, we got 4 planets that's retrograde. Some relationships are falling out of range right now, moving towards this full moon. It could be real vivid in your spirit. Like, you could have some real strong feelings about that person or persons, because again, the moon governs our mood, emotions, our subconscious habits, our feelings, right? So you could have some kind of feeling some kind of way about, but you want to channel those feelings that could vibrate low, because you don't want to fall and vibrate low. You want to channel all those feelings you have about something during this moving towards this full moon phase, and you want to channel them towards something creatively that you love, some kind of art. Because I'm saying like a music, I'm seeing like a harmony, a music note or something like that. So it could be art, poetry. It could be, I mean, art in some form. It could be music, poetry. It could be some kind of art, right? In some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion, but something that really, really gives you pleasure. So you want to channel all those feelings that could cause you to vibrate low when you think about certain people. You want to keep those vibrations high, and you want to channel it towards something that you love to do creatively, and keep heading in that direction. Now, some of the signs that you'll see, Sagittarius, are you'll see numbers in sync, right? You may see 1111. You may see 22, 22. You may see 33, 33, 44. You may see 11, You may see 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14. It may come out on a receipt for gas. It can come out on a receipt for groceries. It can come out in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But that's the universe's way of saying, hey, if you feel like you want to vibrate low, channel that energy into something creative, something that puts a smile on your face, something that that balances your energy out, something where you feel like you're nurturing yourself in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You know that feeling you get when you are able to treat yourself to a manicure or a pedicure or maybe a massage or something like that. You just feel like, whew, I hit the reset button. I just feel better, right? Yeah, you want to keep your vibrations high. Let's talk about the number 51 for just a second, because 51 is important. 51 means that you have a strong intelligence that is enhanced by your deep perception and gifts of discernment. It also means that this enables you to make sound judgments, which you base on facts while balancing your decision with compassion. So again, that's why I'm saying you never know what people are going through. You really, really never know what people are going through. That's why I'm telling you, I have had family members that I haven't talked to in a really long time. I don't even think about the worst. Like, you know, that takes discipline. I mean, really training your spirit to say, you know what? I know that they're still inhaling and exhaling. I know that they're fine. They're somewhere. I don't know what they're thinking about. I don't know what's on their mind. But I just know I'm intentionally thinking about the good memories, right? We can always think about an incident that may have happened with somebody, especially like the thing that just came to mind was like church hurt. Like people always could think of like, this is why you never hear me say anything negative about pastors or church or spiritual leaders or anything like that, even though I do not attend church and I am not a Christian, right? But you don't hear me saying anything bad about it because it serves a purpose for somebody, right? So instead of people saying, oh my God, I don't like church because those people are hypocrites and they just, you know, they this and that. How about those people are trying, right? It's maybe not for me, but they're at least trying, right? They're looking for some kind of foundation. And if it works for them, hey, more power to them. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be friends with them. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to believe what they believe. It doesn't mean that you have to be influenced in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But it's by the same token, you don't have to speak negatively or low vibration because you want good karma to continuously happen for you. So yeah, so that was my immediate thought was church, because a lot of times people will say things about you know, church and church this and church that and nothing like church hurt and things like that. Well, hey, like I say, to each his own, really, to each his own. But here we have some more information, right? Again, I love this because a lot of you all are starting to focus on your yoga and more mindfulness, right? Which is great. See this crown right here? This is crown chakra, getting to your crown chakra. This is where you are starting to meditate more, maybe even participate in yoga some more, but seeing things from a God level of clarity for your inner peace, right? Maybe you join some classes, some Zoom classes or whatever, because I know a lot of people are not physically going out. Some people are, some depending on where you are. See if any restrictions are in your area or whatever. But you're seeing things a lot clearly now, a lot clearer now. Like, you know, you're wiser, you're more knowledgeable about things. And again, you're keeping your frequency, your vibrations high. Yes, vibrations high, right? And then, so what happens when you vibrate low, right? When a relationship has ended or people have moved on and you don't focus on your own healing, you don't even realize how much money you have access to because your head is down. You start sad and maybe depressed a little bit. You don't even realize you have the key to open up the vault to an enormous amount of money. And while money is not everything, and I want to reemphasize this, while money is not everything, money is a major resource, just like people are resources, that's energy, and time is a resource. You put those three together and you can literally change somebody's life, right?